Hey, 7th grade. Hope you had a great weekend. It sure was lovely out. Today we're going to start with a quick review of number 5 and number 8 from 12.5 last week. So we did this in the middle of the week and then we jumped to the end and did the Pythagorean theorem. So I want to circle back, okay, for number 5 and 8. So if we take a look at number 5, the picture in the book looks like this. We've got 17 is this line here, right? This slanted, so that if I was to take this chunk of the middle and try to slide it out, we have 16 that goes along the whole base, but the height is halfway, right? The height is the inside number, and it is half of it. So that means that we would use 8 as the bottom of our inside triangle. And then the height is our x. That's what we don't know, okay? So to solve, let me put the page number here. This was from page 480. Which we did as part of our assignment, but a couple of you reached out because your answers were off, and so I had written not to worry about it, okay? So these would be notes, so you guys should definitely follow along in your notes for today. If you have room on your 12.5 notes, you can add them there. You can start on a brand new one. However you want to organize this, fine with me. So from here, I would use that Pythagorean theorem to find the missing side. So I have x squared plus 8 squared equals 17 squared, right? So A and B are my legs, and the hypotenuse is 17, that's C. From here, when I square, I have x squared plus 64, and 17 times 17 is 289. I subtract 64 from both sides, and I get x is equal to, squared, is equal to 225. And when I square root, I get x equals 15, okay? So this side here, the height, is 15 inches. But the question wasn't find the height, the question was to find the volume, okay? So that means I need to use the formula from 12.5, which was 1/3 area of the base, right, the capital B, times the height, right? So I'm gonna do 1/3 times, I think I said half earlier, sorry, it's 1/3. Times the area of the base. So the base here is 16 all the way around. So we're going to do 16 times 16, which is 256, times the height, which we just found was 15. Okay? And to try to keep my numbers smaller, I know that 3 goes into 15 5 times. So I'm just going to reduce those right now. So I've got 15 now is just 5, and 3 is now 1. So I have 256 times 5. That's what I'm going to put into a calculator. And when I do, I get 1,280 inches cubed, which is the final answer for number 5. Let's try 8. 8 is a cone. Its dimensions are centimeters. When I slide out the inside triangle, I have an unknown height, and then on the bottom, they've given us a radius of 12. So the bottom is 12. We're not gonna half it. So it's different from this first one because the first one we had the whole way, and we were trying to find half. We were using half of the triangle, but here it's already cut in half for us. So using the Pythagorean theorem, I'm going to set it up. X squared plus 12 squared equals 30 squared. X squared stays the same, plus 144 is equal to 900. I subtract 144 from both sides, and I get x squared is equal to 756. When I square root to get just one variable, I get x equals 27.49. I'm going to round that to 5. So my answer might be a little bit off because I'm going to round to the 10th, which I am 100% okay with. Okay, so for all of your figures, you can round to the 10th. Okay, so now if I use my formula, I didn't quite leave a bunch of room, so I'll just do it underneath. The formula is the same. So I have V equals 1/3 times, oh no, it's not. Well, it is the same, but our area of the base is a circle, right? So for that, I have 3.14, right, pi, and then I have to multiply that by the radius, so 12 squared, and then I'm going to have to multiply that by the height, which we just found out was 27.5, right? Okay, the area of the base is a circle, so we have to use that formula, which is pi r squared. Okay, so using my calculator, I've got 1/3 times 3.14 times 144 times 27.5. And then when I do 452, right, 0.2 divided by 3, these first two together, I get something around 150. So I'm going to multiply 150 times 27.5. And so the volume is approximately 4,145. And we had centimeters cubed. So I think in the book it was a couple away from this. I can't remember if it was 4146 or maybe, anyway, if it's within 10, we'll say, because of the rounding, you're good to go. All right. Okay, guys, today we are going to move on to 12.6, which is spheres. A sphere is a ball. We have two new formulas. One is for surface area, so SA, surface area. We're going to use 4 times pi times the radius squared. And then for volume, we're going to use 4/3 times pi times r cubed. Okay? All right. Let's do an example. Let's say we have a sphere, right? And the radius of the sphere is 7. Let's say centimeters, 7 centimeters. So we're going to find the surface area first, okay? So for example, A, surface area, we're going to use 4 times pi times r squared. So when I sub in those numbers, that means 4, I'm going to leave the same. Pi is 3.14. The radius is 7. And I I need to square it. So 4 times 3.14 times 49. If I do the first two 4 times 3.14, I know that's 12.56 times 49. I don't know that. I'm going to plug that into a calculator and get something near 615.44, something like that. So for my final answer, this is surface area. Area is squared, okay? So for my final answer, I'm going to get approximately 615.4 centimeters squared, because I'm going to round to the nearest tenth. Let's try volume, same one. Okay, so for B, we're going to use volume. 4 thirds times pi times the radius cubed. So when I sub in my numbers, 4 thirds stays the same, times 3.14, and now I have times 7 cubed. 4 thirds times 3.14, 7 times 49. If I plug that into a calculator, I get 343. And so then I'll use a calculator to take 4 times 3.14 times 343, and then divide that whole answer by 3. And you should get 1,436.02. Which then is approximately 1,436. And this is volume, so we're going to do centimeters cubed. Okay. For homework tonight, you're going to be doing problems like this. If you look, we're on page 484. And I'd like you to try numbers 8 through 12 even. For those 4 problems, you need to find both the surface area and the volume. So you'll be solving each of them twice. If you have any questions, let me know. I will be on for Google Hangouts at 2:15. Thanks.